Hello and welcome to War with a Mate with me, James.
Me, Andy.
This is the podcast in which we play SPI's The Campaign for North Africa. We've been playing a practice run of 6 turns, and we are now on the final op stage of the final turn of our one and only practice run before we start 111 turns.
We've rounded the final bend on the warm-up jog.
And it's been a nifty 19 months to get to this stage.
Yeah.
We've flown through it, so the full game should be breakneck speed.
Well, you take 19 months and then...
Yeah, just carry the one and then divide. And yeah, this is going to take the rest of our lives. That's crazy.
It's fine, I'm not doing anything.
I'll tell you
I'm
what
not busy.
Tell you what you are doing.
This.
Yeah, this is going to take up quite a bit of time. It's a shame, really, when you think about it. We do so much with a life, and we've chosen to do this with ours.
I've got one life and I've ruined mine.
It's very Mark Corrigan.
It is.
It's a long game.
Peep Show, part of our origin story.
Yeah, we used to watch a lot of Peep Show when we lived together.
We watched the same episodes over and over again for reasons.
Season 2.
Yes.
Over and over for, a good 9 months or so.
Yeah.
In the first year we lived together. Oh, jolly times. And these are times that, while they may not be jolly in their entirety, there's been the ups and downs during this practice run, but wow, it's been an adventure. And today we have got just about to the end.
And it's building to a real crescendo.
We're ready for it. The conductor has his hands in the air. He's ready to bring them down and then raise them back up for one last crash of cymbal, one last blow of brass, and that will be it. Because today, we've crossed off all of the air movement. We've crossed off my land movement.
Some of it. We didn't... We're halfway through yours, I guess.
I guess my movement's done. The combat isn't.
I guess you might move again.
This the second phase stuff. But this is... It's a big session.
It is.
It is realistically the penultimate session.
Yeah, if we don't finish next time, we've got very distracted.
Well, I'm gonna do something bold, Andy, and something that we tried not to do previously, but I will do it now. We used to do it a lot in the first few episodes, but I'm gonna make a commitment.
We made one big commitment. We don't need to make little ones.
The commitment is next time is the last time. Next time is the last of the practice run.
We were literally talking about how it might not be depending on schedule.
It will be.
Okay, I guess I hope our friend continues to be ill.
Yeah, our schedule kind of depends on if our friend is ill or not, as to whether or not we can have a weekend day to finish this. But we will.
Okay.
I have faith that our friend will be ill.
I have poison.
I have toxins available. We're going to wrap this up next time, Andy. This is the penultimate. Next time it's over.
It is.
And we should, I guess, before we go into the recap... No, you know what? We'll do the recap first.
Yeah.
Let's do the recap first.
What you're going to do before the recap, we'll do what we think is going to happen next time.
It was going to be how do you feel, but I feel like maybe if we talk about what happened...
That will inform that.
Our emotions will be more easy to understand. So let's delve into that. We started off with our air phase.
Before that, I moved some boats around.
Oh, sorry, of course. That is another part. Yeah, I always forget that there's stuff before the air phase because we very rarely do it.
Well, it's only 1 in 3. It's once a turn for the fleet. So.
Yeah, and there's very rarely stuff like organization, especially at this point in the practice run. Organization and construction, what would that look like now?
Just dropping tons of supply depots.
You could technically build a supply dump, but who for?
Me.
I'm not building you more supply dumps. You've already used and abused some of my supply dumps. I'm not giving you more to use at the end. I'm not that kind.
Seems harsh.
So what we did have was the air phase after your ships moved around. Your ships moved around too?
They're just ringing Bardia.
Of course. That's where it's at. Bardia is the place
where the game's ending.
It's all happening in Bardia. It's popping off in Bardia. Bardia is the final frontier to go boldly beyond where all of the units have gone before, except some of the ones that have been around there before.
Some guys who just didn't leave.
You used to hold Bardia. That's a weird thing to remember. You had guys in Bardia. Your truck bandits lived in Bardia for the better part of a turn.
They did, yeah.
Did you forget that? You owned Bardia.
Yeah. So I guess I've, not all at once, but I've hit the free win conditions, just not
That doesn't count.
at once.
I know we've really strung the boat out with mine, but at least I held all of them at once.
I forgot how much damage the truck bandits really did.
They are by far and away the MVP of your side of this play run.
I think so, yeah. I mean, just the mobility is so big.
They took so many trucks. They
They
destroyed.
ravaged your convoys for quite a while.
They destroyed Maddalena the second time round, I believe.
Yeah.
They've taken, I think, 5 or 6 convoys, and they were big convoys.
Yeah, and they also cleared out. You had a couple of other SGSUs on map C that are gone.
Yes, yeah, there were some around there. So you've eradicated pretty much all of my air force on map C with them. You took so many trucks. They are gone, but their echo,
Not forgotten.
their echo is still here, ringing out across the deserts of my mind. But when it came to bombing run, I mean, you surrounded Bardia with your ships.
I did.
You've got the 7th right outside Bardia.
Yes, they're literally in contact with Bardia.
So I had to do something drastic. And I was weighing up my decisions all through the week, and especially today. And I was thinking, bombers. I've got a lot of bombers. Do I go for the guys that are a hex away from Tobruk to stop them from getting there and having a lot of CPA?
Yep.
Do I go for the 7th and strip them of CPA when it comes to their attack? Or do I go for some of the guys further away and stop them from getting to Bardia?
Yep.
It was the latter.
Yes, you went for the 4th.
And all day I thought I was going to go for the guys outside Tobruk. But I thought in the end when I was looking at the board, Tobruk doesn't really matter.
They're not taking Tobruk in an off stage.
Tobruk, if you take it, Tobruk on its own, you win. If you can hold
Yeah.
Tobruk and you can supply Tobruk, you win.
The supply is also the issue.
That is a big thing which we will have to look at the end of all this.
Yeah, because I don't know if I can supply Bardia, even if I take it.
I didn't want to look closely. I've kept my eyes averted a bit. It's sort of, you know when you send like a risky text message and then you kind of like leave your phone because you don't want to see the result.
Yeah.
It was kind of that vibe for me where I'm like, I don't want to like lose Bardia and then know it's definitively over. I'd rather, if I lose it, know there's a chance that something else could still play in my favor.
I can get the supply line.
Maybe.
No, I can.
While I still have some of my movement to go.
Yes, sorry,
I can second wave it.
It's logistically possible.
It's logistically
make
possible. Yes. You do have means to get there. If I can put enough units in the way, maybe not.
Yeah, because that's also... Do you count units when you're tracing supply lines? Or is it just the pure supply line?
You count units because zone of control. Because if you have
that
to,
is relevant.
yes, because if you have to go through a zone of control, you don't have a supply line.
Yeah, I just wasn't sure if the...
To be fair, it's not explicitly stated in the rules.
It makes sense it would include the units that are there. But I could also see it being like, just trace the direct line.
Because direct line, fair enough, but I think, because in theory, I could have, a truck convoy on map A when this wraps up, and say I have a win condition, and it's like, well, I've got the route, and I technically have trucks that exist, so I could move them there.
Yeah.
In another world, if you bridge it closer to reality, you could have trucks that are within the route, but they are, for example, surrounded on all sides by my units for some reason.
Yeah.
It's a weird tactic, but, I fuck with it. And in that situation, would you then say it's a supply line? I wouldn't.
No.
So by the same merit, I would say if any zone of control prohibits that route, you have to go around that route.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that makes sense.
So if that's the basis, then I guess it's a difficult one to work around.
Yeah.
Because that's what I had for my win condition. I'm doing inverted commas with my fingers there. Because I had a truck convoy move down so they could, in theory, go to Siwa.
Yeah.
Unobstructed. So it meant I could supply every win condition area to where I need to. So I hit all of that. You maybe could. I think Siwa for you is the question mark.
I guess you don't need to supply Siwa because Oases have...
I think it says you need to.
We'll have a look at. We'll
double
definitely
check.
have a look at the win condition. Yeah.
Part of the benefit of this is it means that there is still excitement at the end.
Yes.
Whoever wins, we do still have to get into the rules, and the winner could be the loser.
Because I was thinking about using the organization phase and just having every unit on the map make a supply dump
Oh, okay.
with their remaining stores,
And then you've got checkpoints to move your
like
trucks between.
everywhere.
Right.
But it costs CPA.
Yes, so it's
And-
expensive.
I'd rather take Bardia and not supply it than have the supply line and run out of the CPA to capture it.
Yeah, because you might be able to bullshit excuse your way through having a supply line, but you can't do that for not having Bardia.
Yeah.
Bardia is very black and white. You're in there or you're not.
And also, it's like, I'd rather just take it.
It's a nicer
and
feeling.
Lose than not take it.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, that's kind of what I had in the end.
Yeah.
I'll take these positions for a moment and then lose. So with that being the case, I thought I'm going to bomb the guys outside of Bardia. Because I could bomb the guys at Bardia, the 7th, and then I'm fighting half a division and, well, I guess everyone else that shows up in terms of their capability points. Or I could fight all of the 7th and no one else gets there.
yeah.
And that's my plan. So I decided to go for the 4th Indian,
Yes.
down by the escarpment, where I
Boy,
had my...
they've had a bad couple of up stages.
Yeah, they've really been getting it stuck to them. Because I've got 2 black shirt divisions and my Tobruk garrison. Stood at
But
the
just the
escarpment.
infantry.
Well, to start with, I had all of them there. I had all of them there ready to go. So I thought, right, let's bomb the 4th,
Yep.
tear them to shreds. I dropped 489 bomb points, I want to say. 39 times
You
12.
were like just under the cap, I remember.
Yeah,
which is what, 470, isn't it?
471 is the cap, and I had 39 times 12, whatever that is off the top of my head. I know it was like 4 below or whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe 367? It was a big number. So I thought I'll drop that all on the 4th,
Yeah.
and that way I can keep some of them back. But you were prepared for this. That was my only air mission. I've got no fighters. Madeleine is gone. It has been for a long time. You countered.
I did. I sent most of my fighters and all of the good ones over the 7th.
Which is a smart
all
move.
the Hurricanes and Blenheim Mark IV fighters, some more Rains, basically everything other than the Gladiator, which are split.
Yep.
Because I thought, if you bomb the 4th, it's kind of bad. If you bomb the 7th in a big way, it's sort of curtains.
I reduced the CPA of possibly half of the entire division.
And they can't voluntarily get in combat. And they're on the attack. You can't, we're going to involuntarily attack this fortified city.
Yeah, it means that it's only when I go for them.
Yeah.
Which I will be. I will have to go for them because of the position of my guys.
Yeah.
But it meant that, at least this way, I accepted they will be there, but I'd rather go against all of them and no one else
Yes.
than you manage to bring other people up to the doors and then cause a kerfuffle. So I dropped that bombing run. You took out 2 of my planes.
I did.
I took out 3 of your planes.
Yes, the Gladiators are really quite bad.
It was 1 squadron of mine that took out 3 of your planes. Just the Golden Squadron.
Oh, yeah, they were on top form.
And what a golden performance from this squadron. From my last air move of the entire practice scenario. 18 months
Yeah.
of this whole thing, and my final play of air was to have 1 squadron kill 3 of your guys in a defensive bombing run, and also to then drop a bombing run that pinned, I believe it was 4 of yours, because you had 6 infantry, and I pinned the middle 4, so 1 and 6 are fine, pinned the middle 4, which means that for the Indian to move, they will have to, I guess, realistically break off all 4 of those infantry and then leave.
I guess the kind of benefit I've got at the minute is when I'm attacked, it's involuntary, so they are still able to defend.
They can defend in any fights coming now, but they can't get to Bardia and take part in that. Because then you've got guys who, their CPA isn't going to be enough to even get there.
No.
And even if it was, they can't choose to engage.
No.
So it means I've kept them at bay. You can splinter them off. However, because of where things were left afterwards, will probably not be the case. But that's land movement. You had air missions.
Yes, I did. Screening flight over the 4th and the 7th of fighters. And then that ridge line, I bombed the...
I bombed all of them.
Second black shirts?
The first, the Tobruk, and the 4th.
Yeah, so I bombed the 4th, who are the northernmost.
First are the northernmost.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the best guys.
Yeah, bombed them with 210.
Yeah, 202.
Yes, sorry, because I knew you didn't have fighters, so I just...
Yeah, you boarded it.
Yeah.
And it was a good move.
And then I did the... And they got 4, was it?
They got 3, and you put 2 on tanks and 1 on infantry.
Yeah.
You pinned my whole tank.
Yes, because armor costs 2 for air bombardments.
Yes.
But I figured that's your punch.
Oh, yeah.
Like...
If I've got those guys around,
Yeah.
then that's a huge benefit. And you also got 1 infantry.
Yes.
So they had to stay there. That's where they are. They have to remain. And then you went for the Tobruk garrison.
Yeah, 1 hex south. Hit them with 202 again.
Yes, and you got 3.
Yes, went for all guns on that one.
The first 3 guns, they are all pinned. One of them is a 15 barrage rating that you pinned.
Sweet.
So that is dastardly.
That's very good.
That's one of my really good guns pinned. And then your last blow was on the 4th.
Yeah, that was 130.
Slightly more weakened, the 4th. Still pretty solid, but...
And also I rolled a 66 on that one, so it was also free. So they all ended up being the same, regardless of the bomb amount.
So they ended up with the 3 pin, which you went all guns.
Yes.
Which I was surprised at.
That garrison has got some scary guns.
So you don't want more guns coming?
Yeah, and also, I want to reduce the scattershot pinning.
Yes. Which isn't completely gone.
No.
Because now those guys are still around. And with that, we moved on to land. Because that was the air done.
Yeah, that was it.
We moved quite swiftly onto land movement. My initial land movement. And I broke the guys up a bit. I decided that Bardia needs backup.
It's not a bad plan.
It is an incredible plan. It's the only plan, to be fair. It's the only thing I can do now to win. So I moved the Tobruk garrison round. I drove them back, broke them off from your guys, and then slid them around and down an escarpment, which was costly.
Yeah.
And then moved them along the coastline and put them into Bardia.
Yes.
So they are now in Bardia. And as well as that, I swapped them out and moved the Areska regiment out of Bardia.
Yep, so now it's
stacking
them
points.
and the 1st Libyan in Bardia.
Yes. The 1st Libyan Division, who are torn asunder.
Do they have 1 guy left? One infantry?
They have 1 infantry, I think that's it. So they are 1 infantry and a shit ton of guns.
Yep.
Because all of the Tobruk garrison men had to stay behind at the ridge.
Yeah.
They had to stay by the escarpment because I don't have the CPA to move them down an escarpment and then to Bardia.
Yeah.
So instead, I've moved them around there. I'm having to split them around a bit. So they're all going to have to scatter around that ridge, which does mean I have a nice sort of horseshoe of defense.
Yes.
So if you get past 1 line of defense, you then have to go through an infantry battalion. And then I think there's even a 2nd wave of infantry battalion. So it's a hard wall to pass.
Oh, yeah.
I moved the 1st black shirt up towards Bardia, so they are now flush with Bardia and the 7th. So when this fight erupts, which it will next time we play, and it's going to be the Tobruk garrison, it's going to be the Libyan division, and it's going to be the 1st black shirts all fighting against the 7th.
And the Commonwealth Navy.
Yes, but they're not fighting the Commonwealth Navy. The Navy are just blasting them. It's not a,
Yeah,
that's not
I guess
a fight.
they're not fighting back.
Yeah, they independently will barrage.
Yeah. I've actually got something I need to do a rule check on that where I'm weighing it up, but I guess you can't affect it, so I'll just tell you.
Yeah.
See what you think. I'm trying to weigh up whether it's worth doing a bombardment on secondary targets and try to reduce the fortification level of Bardia.
Oh, okay.
or use it in the fights in Bardia.
Right.
Like, is it more of a overall benefit to reduce the fortification level, or is it more of a benefit to have them help fights?
Yeah, if we're going for other gameplay scenarios, are you going to go for the debuff or the DPS?
Yeah, and I think if it was longer, getting rid of the fortifications makes sense because it's just an incremental advantage every time you fight.
Yeah, if we had this going for another 2 turns, remove the fortification.
Yeah.
But now, I think it's a pretty decent coin flip.
Yeah.
I think both of them are beneficial.
I'm weighing it up, and I don't think I can do it split,
No,
which is the problem.
I don't think you can. I don't think you have the cojones.
I was going to say cojones.
Yeah, you're going to say cojones.
Yep.
There we go. Common ground. And I don't know that it's even worth it. I think when it comes to going for the fortification, is that really worthwhile now?
Now I'm thinking it might be.
Well, because I'm talking to you about it. Oh, no. It's fine. Yeah. Or this is reverse psychology. It's psychology.
Because there's another thing I didn't do this turn that I think would have messed you up, but I don't think I would have got the win from it.
Yeah.
Which is when you showed up, do a reaction with the 7th and just have them go along the road towards Tobruk and just make all of Bardia a bluff.
Which you could have, but the journey to get there means your CPA is shot.
It's all road. It would cost 7 CPA.
For the 7th?
Yeah, because they're already on the road.
Yeah, I guess so. I think I've got enough units close by
that you would follow them.
Yeah.
That's why I decided not. And also I was like, I've put the ships here. They're more useful as ships than as a bluff.
Yes. Yeah, what a weird bluff. Because you don't get a chance to then use them later. If you use them as a bluff, you never use them.
I guess I would hammer Bardia, but for what?
So I'm now in a position where I have a split defense. I moved the 4th around as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and also the 62nd. I moved the 62nd.
Where were they?
They were part of the cluster that contained the 7th.
Oh, yeah.
And I moved them up, so they are now part of that wall.
Yes.
They're now part of the new wall. So it's them, the 4th, and the huge swathe of infantry left behind from the Tobruk garrison.
Yeah.
So they are all hanging about. The Tobruk garrison, we are, by the way, acutely aware for those who are astute with the rules, which it's wild that we get emails from people who are aware of the rules. That's an incredibly surreal experience because it's not something you can Google. So for someone to then
people
email...
like playing solo.
Yeah, for us to get emails where someone says, by the way, keep an eye out for this rule. It's
like, normally
shit.
Right.
Yeah, well, for the most part, they've been right.
I guess not even normally. I think they've all been either...
I know 2 occasions where we've replied to them separately to the podcast to say, I think we've had to clarify what we meant because they took it from what we said in the podcast.
And we're not good communicators.
And, which is great for a podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And yeah, we've had to go back and kind of go, no, this is what we meant.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
But it is good we've got people keeping us honest.
And rightly so. So just to make those people aware, we know the Tobruk garrison situation is very rules light because they were meant to stay in Tobruk, which we found out fairly recently. But they're out there now. Going back would mean setting a lot of it back. It's the end. We're willing to accept a bit of leeway. It's something we will absolutely keep in mind for the full game. This will not happen in the full game. It is rules as written in the full game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bit of leeway. There's a lot of units broke off. I've got the infantry around there. That is my stance. I'm going to fight you in Bardia. I'm going to fight you along the ridge.
And on the beaches.
Well, that's what it is. It's a beach. And the last thing I did to fortify that was to move the 2nd Libyan division along the little ridge escarpment coastal section behind the 4th.
Yeah, so the 4th and the 16th Infantry Battalion are boxed in pretty badly between the escarpment and the division coming in behind them.
Yes, so the 2nd Libyan will have an independent fight with the 4th Indian.
Yeah.
And then the guys on the ridge will have a second fight against the 4th Indian.
How does ordering on that work, do you think?
I don't actually think there's anything to say what precedent is there. I don't think there's anything where it's like the bigger fight takes place first, where like the biggest attacker goes first.
Yeah.
Or the smallest, or the most units on hexes.
I guess it's you initiating combat, and an op stage is like 2 to 3 days.
Yeah.
So I guess from that perspective, it's like, does the attacker just choose?
I guess the logical way to do it would be whoever gets there first. So the units that are already in contact have their fight first.
Yeah.
If I've moved a unit in during that phase, they go second. Or if I was moving both groups, it's the first one that arrives in sequence that I move them.
But, yeah.
Seems the way that it would go, technically. Because it all happens simultaneously in the
That's
rolls.
what I mean, where it's like, if you move them both in game terms, they've arrived at the same time.
But I guess I could touch one piece first and move it.
Yeah. I mean,
And
that
then-
could be the way to do it. I would just think the attacker would pick,
I guess so, yeah.
because there's enough, like,
I guess the thing
there's
is...
radios and communication. Like, they would be like, we're on top of the escarpment, we're going to, like, hammer them, and then you come in behind them. It would make sense as a commander. Or you could be like, you guys come in behind them, and then the guys on the top of the cliff will go. I think it makes sense that the, like, attacker can choose that order.
I suppose the benefit is with my ruling of, whichever pieces move first, it's the same as yours.
Yeah.
It's all the same thing. It's I get the definitive decision of I move the guys, and
Yeah.
that's the order it happens in.
So I guess
We'll
we'll
double check before
the
the full
rules,
game.
but basically it's the attacker picks the order.
And what we do know from the clarification last time is that these are independent fights.
Yes.
There's no flanking benefit. You don't have everyone lumped in together. The second Libyan have an independent fight.
Yeah.
If I can pick, and I based on what we've said, probably can, they'll go first.
The second Libyan.
Yes. Because I'd rather they have the sort of weaker of the fights and maybe whittle down, 10% of those guys on a good roll. And then they get hit with massive bombardment from the top of the ridge. And then they're stuck, and there's fewer guys to hit. So that's the tactical mindset I've got. And then when it comes to Bardia, it's every man for himself.
The Battle of Bardia is going to be pretty intense.
Well, it's the end, Andy.
It is.
It's the climax of the practice run. It happens at Bardia, which is it's perfect. It's beautiful.
And I still have a scheme up my...
Well, that's bad.
I've got one last scheme.
I think, and I guess it depends on what happens in the combat. I think I'm out of schemes, Andy. I think I'm actually done. I think I'm spent. I think I'm done with schemes. I think I've moved my guys. I think after 19 months from unboxing the game, punching the pieces, putting blue tack and magnets on them, I think it's all led to me being here right now, out of schemes, out of plans. I've moved my guys. I'm fucking ready for it.
Well, schemes are a bit like money. You want to spend the last you have on the last day. You don't want to have them in the bank when you're gone.
That's true. You can't take it with you.
Yeah. I don't want to have like 3 or 4 schemes left that are unrealized from this end.
You've never been a DM, have you?
Yeah, I have. I'm DM'd for you. How dare you?
Oh, yeah.
I'm planning a campaign for you at the minute.
Yeah, that's exciting because we're not only wrapping up this, we're also wrapping up our 10-year D&D
Decade-long.
story.
Yeah.
In which I've been DMing, and at the end of this 10-year narrative arc, which will be very emotional and dramatic as it has been the whole way, you're going to take over a sort of Firebreak
6
campaign.
to 10.
Yeah, mini campaign. So
Yeah.
that'll be exciting. I get to sit in a player seat around the same time that we wrap this up, so I'm going to be in such disarray psychologically, where every constant in my life is falling apart.
Gonna go home. Oh, I need to plan the game. Oh no, that's not going for another few weeks. Oh, I'll do some D&D. Oh, damn, I don't have anything to plan.
If I've got nothing to plan, I spiral. I need to keep busy.
Are you gonna do what I did then, where I sent you like 10-page long Google Docs of character plans?
Of course, Andy, I've already got like 7 pages typed up for my character, and I don't know what class they are.
I'd love to see those pages as I'm writing, so I can. Yeah.
So yeah, I'm the kind of person that needs to keep busy, but I'm not talking like I'm going to go out for a run or I'm going to do something necessarily.
No, it's busy
conventionally
from
productive.
a chair.
Yeah, it's busy where I'm engaged all
Yeah.
the time. Whether it's brain rot on TikTok, I need stimulation. If it's going out and socializing, if it's playing the campaign for North Africa or DMing, I need to have something prepared for tomorrow, and that keeps me busy, and it's a permanent cycle. So this Maybe the practice run ending is not such a good thing.
I get a bit of psychological warfare before we start. They'll put you in the mindset of being an Italian.
Well, this is a good place to look at it then, Andy. How do you feel knowing that? Good. All right, okay.
No,
Let me set the stage. I was going to say, how do you feel knowing that we've come to the end of the practice run? We have realistically, one more play session of this practice run, and then it's done. Nearly two fucking years of this. And we finally wrapped up this practice run, and you feel good.
yeah.
Why?
We've done it. I'm not. There's a week left.
Yeah,
But
asterisk.
I think if you'd said 2 years ago you'll finish the practice scenario, I would have given you like 20% odds.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm constantly surprised that this has held up and become something.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where this was going to go. I didn't think it would be us finishing the practice run. I didn't think it would be people listening to us finish the practice run.
I didn't think I'd ever do a live show in my entire life, ever.
So yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Don't know where that came from, but that happened. We did a live show. We finished the practice run nearly. It's a wild 2 years.
So yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about the overall, like, I guess, project.
Yeah, and you know what? Dare I say, I feel the same.
That's good. How are you feeling in-game?
Well, that's why I sort of called out the whole feeling good thing. Because if we're looking at it from afar, I feel really good.
Yeah.
The project as a whole has been brilliant. We've had so much excitement compared to what I expected. The board game isn't just the board game. We've had so much engagement, so many people listening.
Yeah.
We've got to this stage now where we're wrapping it up and we can finally put our name on it and say we did the practice run onto the full game. We'll be the guys playing the full campaign for North Africa, not the guys who are going to play the full campaign for North Africa. It'll be good to take that veil off.
It will be good to just tell people I've started it rather than them being like, oh, that's going to take ages. How far through are you? I'm in the practice.
As someone who talks about this all the time to everyone I know, and they ask how far along I am, I'm like, oh, I'm in turn 3 of the practice run. And like, what does that mean? And then I tell them, and they become. It's like it's pity that I see in their eyes, where it's like, oh, so you. What the look is, it's you're not going to do the full game.
Yeah.
It's you're going to play the practice run and you're going to finish it, and then that's it. And you're going to get bored, and you're not going to finish the full thing. We are going to finish the full thing,
Of course.
Get lost,
Or die trying.
all these naysayers. I won't have it.
No naysayers.
I guess no one that's listening, I suppose.
Been a lot of people being very nice.
You know what? We've not really had anyone to cry. We had our first troll the other week, last week.
Yeah, that's...
We had an internet troll who said we weren't playing the game.
He really got you.
Yeah, he did. Well, I got into a discussion with someone who was discussing in bad faith. At first, I thought they misunderstood the rules of the game. And slowly it became apparent they were negotiating in bad faith. And that they were saying that War of the Mate isn't playing the game because it doesn't have 8 players. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. I'll not hark on it too much.
No, let's not.
God damn it. I'm easy to bait. I'm really easy to bait. I mean, I still think about the Heathcliff comic that got emailed to us just because I don't understand it. And that was in good faith, I feel.
It was sent in by someone pretending to be Jeff Bezos. I don't know, good faith.
I don't know. I feel like it was a listener. I feel like it's someone who's been around for a while.
I mean, they said we'd enjoy it, and they were right.
Yeah. I don't know. They said we'd enjoy it, and I remember it.
And you spiraled for like 3 weeks.
But yeah, spiraling, I guess, in-game, I feel tentative. I don't know if I'm going to win. I don't know if you're going to win. This is, I think, psychologically the best place I could be in for the end.
Yes.
Because I wouldn't want to come into the end thinking I've won.
No.
Or lost. Because then I would submit myself to, it's already over, and I'd already be thinking ahead.
Out of the way and, yeah.
I'd already be looking at the full game at this point. And we've got a hiatus in between. I would have already moved into that headspace of, it's over, let's think about what we're doing to prepare for the full game, what the full game looks like. But instead, I'm still thinking about next week.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking about what is going to happen to wrap this up. That's a good place to be in.
Oh, yeah.
I'm nervous. I'm excited. I think that is it. I'm excited. I didn't think that would be the mindset I'm in when we're wrapping up this practice run. I thought early on I would be just such a disheveled shell of a man who's come to despise this game so much that I can't stand another moment sat in front of this microphone talking about it.
I'm also glad it's built to this at the end, because this would be the last step-off point. If the game was like, it was like, there's nothing to this.
This would be the final natural break point where I could wrap this up and go, I did a practice run of the campaign for North Africa.
I promised big, but I did do something, and now I'm going to leave.
Yeah, I could easily go, this isn't actually worth my time. I'm over. That's it. It's done.
But no, we're doubling down.
I will be committing to this.
Yeah.
And it sounds as though you will be too.
Oh, yeah.
So, that is the penultimate game recap.
I also just... My feeling on the game, I think I'm going to win.
Yeah, you said good. you think you're going to win. I'm up in the air. So I'm gonna slap a maybe on you as well. I'm gonna tell you your opinion.
I think I'm going to win, but it's like 60 to 40%.
Okay.
It's not like I'm going to win 90%. I just think the odds are in my favor.
Because of my unknowns of the truck situation, and because I don't actually know how balanced these fights are going to be, I am actually at a 50-50.
Yeah.
I'm not well informed enough, and that's crazy as someone who's playing the game. I'm not well informed enough to know who's going to win.
No.
It's dice rolls, it's cohesion, it's CPA, it's the campaign for North Africa.
Yeah.
And we've got one more thing to do. We'll pick up the game next time. For now, we're going to do everything else around the game. One more trip around the sun before we do the full shebang.
Should we pick up some listener mail?
It's got to be mailbag. We're going to have to go in. We're going to have to see what other people are saying. Maybe it's related. Maybe it's not. That's the excitement. The mailbag.
Yes. So this one's real life Olympics.
Yes. Okay. So immediately we're trying to bring people down.
But it starts, hey y'all.
Perfect.
Love a y'all.
Love a y'all.
Been a listener from around the time of the first few episodes.
An OG.
Yeah, and of course love the show. My web form I sent got lost in the great web form kerfuffle of 2025.
My condolences, Adam.
Apologies, that is a me problem from top to bottom.
Hey, those web forms were complicated. We didn't really know what was happening with them. They were meant to forward to the mailbag. They were meant to forward to the mailbag.
No, they were meant to forward and that.
And then after that, we sifted through some and we realized we had read some out independently. And we lost some in the shuffle. It's not all on you, Andy.
Okay, thanks, man.
But it is, to quote you, it's 64.
That's more than fair. It's reasonable.
I hate that. That's a phrase you've taken to today. It's more than fair. It's reasonable. Reasonable is lower than fair. Reasonable is the baseline of any interaction that isn't unreasonable. Fair is better. Fair means both sides are equitable. Reasonable just means you've not taken it too far. So you can pack that in.
Agree to disagree.
I'll get back to you.
So I decided to email on a completely different subject. The most recent common ground in episode 78 about the D-Olympics reminded me of the actual event around the 1904 Olympics men's marathon. It was a combination of the Vegas event that inspired the common ground and the stuff y'all were talking about. The first guy across the finish line got there in a car and was banned for life because of it.
I love that.
The winner drank brandy, raw eggs, and strychnine during the race.
Oh, it's Gaston.
Isn't strychnine just a poison?
I don't know. It feels like it feels like it's one of those like chemicals that border on poison.
It feels like it's not conducive to running. Also, running with a stomach full of raw eggs
and brandy,
yeah,
acidic alcohol, and eggs.
Oh, that guy must have thrown up so much.
That alone, independent of whatever this poison might or might not be.
Maybe he needed the poison to balance out the brandy and eggs.
Then he didn't need the brandy and the eggs. It's a concoction of his own making. This guy's an alchemist, and he didn't need to be.
Yeah. One guy took a nap during it.
Nice.
One guy got chased by dogs.
Scary.
A Cuban postman ended up in the race and ran in his regular clothes.
Sorry, you're telling me the postman isn't the guy who got chased by dogs? Then this isn't a cartoon.
That feels wrong.
Yeah, this doesn't make any sense anymore.
I think I've actually seen I'll finish the
You're about to go on a tangent and caught yourself.
The dust from the track was so bad it nearly killed a few of the runners. There were no water stations and the temperature was 32 degrees C. Thought you'd all get a kick out of that, Adam, aka some dumb ninja.
I like the moniker.
Yeah.
Also, no water stations and the temperature was 32 degrees. Shout out Download Festival 2023.
Yeah, we did this race, but just over 3 days at a festival.
Yeah, we did this, but it was when Pucifer and Bring Me the Horizon were there.
I'm pretty sure I broke my foot.
You must have caused some sort of permanent injury to that foot, because the way you went down...
It was so bad.
You were so...
And then I dumbly walked on it for 2 days, and then spent a fortnight after the festival, not being using a Fitbit to be do as few steps as possible.
I remember that night, we got back from the party tent.
Yeah.
In the evening of Download Festival on, I think it was the second night?
The Thursday. We got there on the Wednesday. It was the Thursday, I think.
So it was before any of the bands started
No,
playing.
because that was the time Metallica did.
Oh, yes, it was. It was the 4-night one. And I remember we came back from that tent and you were yelling at the top of your lungs as we went through the campsite because you were very drunk. And then you were just stumbling all over the place as well. And I tried to stabilize you and I got really angry and frustrated at you.
Fair.
And then at that point, you just went down on yourself and, borderline broke your foot.
Because they have the big plastic mats for the pathways.
Yeah, to go over
and
the
we
grass.
were at the top of a hill, and my foot went in perfectly, and then the rest of my body went downhill while my foot was stuck.
Jammed between two of the plastic struts.
And then it was just purple for the rest of the festival.
Yeah, I was debilitated on the last day with hay fever.
Yeah.
To the point where I couldn't see. I'd slept in a field, not a good idea. And you couldn't walk.
It was fun, but it was also my last festival ever.
I was meaning to go next year. I'm hoping to, because I think it's meant to be Bring Me the Horizon Again and Blink-182. That's the rumor. That would be awesome. But I guess we're getting away from ourselves. That was the last line of an email, and what a testament to tangents.
Just one more tangent before you start your email.
Yeah.
You know that secret base we talked about who had the Bob emergency video and the mattress video we got sent?
Oh, yes, that was really cool.
I think they have a video about this I might have seen.
Oh,
because this was ringing some bells.
This does seem like something you would do a video essay on.
Yeah.
But yeah, this really awesome stuff, Adam, because if it's a race where someone's cheated and a dog chased someone that wasn't a postman, that's the kind of absurdity I like, where reality just kind of diverges from what should happen.
Just a guy, the postman running past looking at the guy getting chased by dogs being like, I know
what the hell's going on? What kind of wacky place is this? Center of chaos.
I'd love to know, the guy in the car got caught. I'd love to know the guy. You probably wouldn't know because they wouldn't say, but how many people have won, those super long races in the desert or the ultra marathons or that kind of, how many of them have been won by a guy in a car?
Yeah, there's got to be, it's more than I can count on my hands.
Yeah.
Easy. But thank you, Adam. A lovely email of wacky nonsense. We love a bit of hijinks. And speaking of which, the next email comes from Milan with the subject, I hate cars. So, Milan writes, Hey Andy and James. Milan here from Texas again. Texas, of course, for the uninitiated, home of one of the 70mm IMAX screens showing the Odyssey in its full
Isn't it home of more?
There's 4 of them, I think.
It's most crazy. Of them in the world.
Yeah, it's 10% of all of the screens that can do that. Your common ground on episode 79 really resonates with me, as I hate the fact that we are a 2-car household, but we have no choice. Texas is one of the worst states in the US when it comes to public transport, and it shows. My local metro has a population of over 1 million people. Wow. And we have exactly one train that goes north and south. This train often has over an hour between leaving my nearby station, and on weekdays stops running at 8. God, that's a nightmare.
We're like 300,000. We've got 2 lines.
2 lines, and it stops running at like 11:30.
Yeah.
And they're, for the most part, every 15 minutes, in theory. Terms and conditions apply.
I mean, you like hate on it, and then you realize, like, oh, it is actually very good compared to a lot of cities our size.
To scale it, when I look at our train system and the fact that it's meant to be every 15 minutes, but is realistically every 25 or 30, it's the same way I look at the tube, and people complain about missing the tube, and then they have to wait 4 minutes for the next one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, come on, get a hold of yourself. If you've left yourself 4 minutes to get to work or whatever important event it is, that this 4-minute difference is going to counter, then you are actually the problem.
Yeah.
And maybe, to be fair, Milan would think the same of me if I'm giving myself only half an hour leeway when his situation is, it's not ideal.
But you shouldn't have to plan ahead to use your local train that much.
No.
You should be able to walk down and, like, get somewhere.
At that point, it's not a local train, is it?
No.
At that point, there's nothing local about it. It shows up where you are, but so do national trains.
Yeah.
And compared, the UK to Texas, you are looking at a national scale for our equivalent.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know what, Milan? You're hard done by, because nationally we have much better transport links. Texas needs to step itself up. Whenever I travel, I always take buses and trains because it's a much nicer way to travel, and I loathe that I can't realistically do that where I live. Enough about that rant, though. My son, who is now 2 months old, congrats, Milan. I remember you announcing the birth in one of your mails,
yes.
So very glad to hear that he's now the ripe old age of 2. He's plugging along. He's getting there. He's going to be a fully grown man by the time that this is over.
Oh, God,
with kids of his own.
That's actually true.
Yeah, that's not. Yeah, I'm not being hyperbolic. He may have his own kids. He may have grandkids.
He's probably definitely going to be an adult.
He will be an adult. He will have paid a lot into tax. And I still enjoy listening to your podcast, especially the recent history segment on the Ottoman Empire. It was a very good one, Milan. I did like that one. I knew some of the big picture stuff, but learning the details have been a highlight. Given my Serbian heritage, I'm rooting for the Ottomans to go down. Spoilers. Tangentially, I hope that when you get closer to World War II, you take a look at the Yugoslavian partisan movement, as they were able to accomplish extraordinary feats against the Nazis, including royally pissing off Hitler himself on multiple occasions. No questions about the game this time, but I'm looking forward to the finale of the practice round. Milan, sent from the deserts of my mind. Well, Milan, tune in next time for the wrap-up.
The very end.
And when it comes to Yugoslavian partisan movement, Andy, any take-up on that?
Don't know anything about it currently, but it's gone on the list.
Perfect. There we go.
That list is... I need to now edit that list.
Well, it's long, but we will surely get through it all.
Oh, yeah.
So, in that case, Milan, I'm going to make a promise for you now from Andy. It will happen. And it will happen in the next 6 months.
Nope.
Okay? It will happen, though.
It will happen.
Cool.
We're not going to get to the Nazis till they show up in the game.
Right,
So
okay.
if anyone's eager for any Nazi history, that's probably 2-3 years away.
Ooh,
Maybe
you're low
4.
ball on that. Because they all, turn 21.
Yeah, actually.
So, if you're around for the Nazis, then, hunker down.
Yeah.
You've got a ways to go. I never thought I'd say that. But, seems like Milan was rooting for the Ottomans to be swatted, and they have been.
Yeah.
They've been taken apart.
The Ottomans were an interesting one, because they, were pretty cool early on.
Well,
relative to, the rest of the world.
They seemed
really, yeah.
They seemed really progressive.
Yeah.
And I thought they might have been maybe an empire that were kind of maybe ahead of the time, and they had some things going for them that maybe we didn't really recognize, and then they fell by the wayside and were
they certainly
plucked apart.
did, but they didn't keep up.
No, they did fall apart towards the end. They made some decisions where you can't actually justify them anymore. So
no, I mean genocides.
Yeah, that's the point where it's as soon as the big G comes out, that's it.
Yeah.
You're written off as an empire that needed to go. Unfortunately, that's not always the case. But thank you, Milan, for getting in touch. Glad the little one is doing well. Very good to hear it. And thank you, Adam, for a little delve into a common ground. And some of the most fun mailbags we get are when someone analyzes our common ground with a little cross-section of history.
Yes.
It's a lovely crossover, especially one where the timeline matches up as well. Can't get better than that. And anyone who has anything to add to it, the mailbag can be reached at info@warwithamate.co.uk. We have an Instagram, which is just warwithamate. The website is warwithamate.co.uk. Big overhaul approaching during the hiatus between practice run ending and full game starting. Keep an eye out in general as well for that, because the hiatus will be slightly different, because we'll be talking about different things as we approach the main game. We've got some things to keep us entertained, so it won't all be tangents. Yeah. But we'll keep the main beat. You'll get your history, you'll get your common ground. Don't you worry.
Keep you updated on what we're doing.
Yes.
We're going to take this. We've done the practice scenario. We understand the game enough now to... We just want to get everything right before we start.
Yes. So there'll be a bit of picking the game apart. We'll get into it a lot probably next time when everything's wrapping up. We'll let you know what the future looks like. But big things coming, and expect big things for the start of the full game. It's going to be a real grand occasion. We look forward to it and having you all there. But get in touch in the meantime. We read everything out. We'll get through every single thing that's sent. It doesn't need to be entirely game-related. I mean, hell, half the podcast isn't. So that would be a bold request. But that is the end of the mailbag, which means, speaking of tangentially game-related things, our future is one thing, but the past is where it's at.
The men of the long-range desert patrols were quite a sight on their return to Cairo from a month's trip to the contrast between the east and west of the Nile is very marked. In the east, the country... At this point, I gave little thought to my future, but had always been interested in boats in the sea. I am more or less in the position of a captain in command of a ship, which is on the point of sinking because errors are present.
We are absolutely not qualified to share views on history. So, Andy, when and where are we?
We're continuing with the Italians in World War One. We've done 3/4 of their front, which was the High Alps.
Which was a nightmare.
Yeah, this might be worse, but we'll figure it out.
Well, that'll be impressive, because last time was just absolute hellscape.
It was. The quote, this is a fun one. Well, you'll find out why as we go along. Esto es una cardona, which means this is Cardona in Argentinian slang.
Okay.
Which is slang for something worthless, useless, or of very poor quality.
Right, okay. Well, this could be Italian tanks.
Maybe. That's not a bad guess.
Okay. That's the only thing I know of in terms of Italian, I guess, infrastructure around this time.
Yeah, they don't have tanks yet. This is World War One. Even the tanks they have, which are a joke, they make after World War One, I think.
Okay, yeah. I don't know if they had any sort of progenitor in World War One that were maybe even worse.
No.
Where it is just a guy with like a metal helmet and a gun, and they call it a tank.
No, not quite. I think the first tanks were World War One, just not on this front.
Yes, yeah. Well, I've seen pictures. I used to, when I was in school, we had this like history book, and it had pictures of tanks across the ages. And I remember there being World War One tanks.
Yeah.
And they look kind of goofy.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, I guess the Italians, based on World War II, probably didn't start that early.
No. So the main front they fought on wasn't the Alps. It was along the Isonzo River, which runs... At the time, it ran parallel to the border with Austro-Hungary. It's sort of, where the Italy like curves round, and then the Alps finish. It's like that bit of land between the Alps.
Yes.
East of Venice.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So it makes it one of the only accessible routes in Central Europe to get into Austro-Hungarian land for the Italians, because as we covered last time, you can't go through the Alps, really.
Yeah, it turns out that's a bad idea.
The land isn't as mountainous as the Alps, but this is still mountainous terrain. It's still pretty rough, steep plateaus, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it can't be as bad as climbing all that way up to mount, the guns and put the ammo into them.
No. It's made of rocky limestone ground with a river in the middle of it. Limestone's incredibly hard, which makes digging trenches almost impossible without, like, industrial equipment.
Well, limestone's definitely hard. I've seen the adverts where, dirt and limescale building up on your tap.
Yes.
Yeah, I know how it is.
But limestone does have a feature, which is that it's very brittle, which means when explosives go off, the rock shatters.
Into shrapnel.
And, yeah, so this entire battlefield essentially has a buff to explosive damage.
Okay, that's interesting.
And the Austro-Hungarians hold the high ground.
Ah.
Yes. There's almost constant fighting between June 15th and September 17th, but there's 12 major battles. To understand the 12 battles they'll fight on this river, you need to understand an important character. General Luigi Cardona.
Ah, we're bringing another Luigi into the fold.
Yes.
We haven't done that since early episodes.
Yeah. And this is the namesake of that phrase at the start.
Okay.
It's literally named after him.
Oh, right.
So we'll find out why. He's a bad general and a bad person. Which is not fun for the people fighting him. His father had been an important general in the unification of Italy. He conquered Rome. So because of this, Luigi essentially nepo babies his way through the entire army. And he's also a personal friend of King Emmanuel III.
Oh, as you do.
Yeah. So he gets offered the position of Chief of Staff of the Italian Army in 1908, and he turns down the job because he doesn't want any political oversight. He did, however, accept the job in 1914, so just before the war breaks out.
Convenient.
Well, before Italy joined. He's a brutally uncompromising man who is unable to take personal accountability and has some interesting ideas about war. He doesn't view his soldiers as people, but an instrument of power, and he believes an army must be more terrified of their commander than the enemy.
Okay, you kind of described my playstyle in the game.
Well, it's a very Italian playstyle. Apparently, you've been doing it historically accurately.
The good thing is my pieces are, I guess, inherently scared of me because I can move them with complete control. They have no way to push back against me.
They'd have morale and cohesion.
I am their god.
Okay, you and this guy might have had a similar wars.
Yeah, for me it's better though because it's cardboard.
Because they're not real.
Yeah, his people had souls.
Oh yeah. He's got several policies, such as no leave for frontline troops.
That's not nice.
So you don't rotate out at all.
You know what? That's great for morale, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. He also used his influence with the government to block them sending aid to Italian POWs because he thought if they were treated well, his own troops would be more likely to surrender.
What?
Which contributed to the deaths of 100,000 Italian POWs out of a total of 350,000.
Cool ratio,
so
guy.
More than a quarter of his guys who get captured die because he's not sending. The thing is, the countries don't have to provide everything, but they have to let like Red Cross and stuff through.
Yeah.
But it's sort of we have your POWs, but you need to help feed and supply them.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we'll let you in if you want to give them something. And if they open the doors up and no one's there to provide anything, it's like, oh, your food didn't come this week.
Yeah, and they're fighting World War I, the Hungarians, so they're not going to be like, have our food, because...
Yeah, it's not this board game where we have to do it. There's no Red Cross in the campaign for North Africa. You have to shill it out yourself. Whereas here, I guess, yeah, if you don't have your guys vouching for you, if no one comes for visitation, you're on your own.
Yep.
Same with food.
On top of that, he thinks soldiers should get no downtime. So if they aren't fighting, they should be doing physical labor, partially so they're too exhausted to complain.
What the fuck is that mentality?
Yep. This overall leads to insane morale problems.
Of course.
But he's got a cunning plan.
What is the plan? Kill his own men.
Execute people on your own side until morale improves.
No.
Yes.
Fuck me.
This guy is basically, for anyone who's a 40k fan, this guy is a commissar.
When my joke response is the actual decisive move of the command, it's bad.
Italy executed more of its own men than any other Western side in the entire war.
Cool, so they are moronic.
Yep.
And barbaric.
There were over 750 official executions, but he also gave standing orders to his officers to immediately execute any soldier who lagged behind, showed hesitation, or tried to surrender. This means the total number of executions is well over 1,000.
What the fuck constitutes as lagging behind?
Just at the back.
But someone's always at the fucking back.
Beg out of the front. That is how you motivate people.
No, it's not. By the way, we know that's not the case because this guy you described at the start as this was a bad leader. Someone's always at the back.
Yep.
There's no discernible way to
it's just
enforce this policy.
Yeah, he also brought back the Roman tradition of decimation.
Okay.
For when a unit failed or had problems, but there wasn't a ringleader, which is when they draw lots and 1 in 10 of them are killed by the rest. He was doing this in 1915.
Right. So when we looked at World War II, and it was the case of the entire approach of, well, we're going to bring back the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
So this guy's trying to do a little bit of that in
the
worst way.
This guy's a Roman general 2,000 years out of time, and he would have been a bad general at that time.
Yeah, he's a bad Roman general in this time with guns.
Yeah. So to sort of explain this is crazy. He saw morale as the single most important part of winning a war.
In the game, it actually does play a huge part.
Yeah.
So that I kind of understand in that regard, but he didn't do anything to remedy it.
No, he saw morale as the single most important part of winning a war, but he had no understanding of human nature or how morale actually works.
Cool. So I can write this. I can write the rest of this if you want.
Oh no, it gets worse, man.
Ow.
He viewed the natural state of people, in particular the lower and working classes, as inherently being cowards, and that morale was the fear of commanders, meaning orders were followed in spite of that cowardice. So he sees morale as having the ability to inflict... basically, your troops are more scared of you than your enemy. That's what he thinks morale is.
Right, so... Okay.
And he also thinks anyone who's not a nobleman is an inherent natural coward who must be corrected through this kind of insane...
That's so back. Right, yeah. So you got your bog standard guy. They're a coward, so you need to terrify them and make them more scared of you than the enemy.
Terrify them, exhaust them, micromanage them.
So you could have a guy who is a steadfast soldier ready to fight for his nation, who has a vehement anger towards the enemy, and what you do to motivate, there come the air quotes again, this man, is you diminish any sense of worth, you punish them, you exhaust them, and then they despise you when they were already against the enemy. You've actually flipped it. So now they might actually just be more against you than the enemy.
And also, this is a nationalist Italian war to free Italian-speaking places from an empire. That should be motivation.
If this story doesn't end with a fucking coup, I would be bewildered if they don't turn on their own guy here.
Yeah, because here I've got... In fact, I think he understands morale so poorly, I don't think I could deliberately demoralize an army as well as he did his own. He also... Insane micromanagement, which means no commanders on the field are allowed to make any decisions that change the plan. Even if it's there's a machine gun there, should we go around? It's no, you have to go here, or he'll execute or decimate your squad.
What the fuck is this
so
tactic?
there's no initiative on... In fact, initiative is punished even if it leads to success.
This guy... Why do we use Custer as a point of tactical failure? when this guy existed.
Well, there's a reason his name is the word for useless in Argentinian slang.
But this is like it's just actual suicide.
Oh, it's crazy.
He's killing his own men, and I know that, you know, part of it is because he thinks it's, you know, morale based. But he's also just killing his own men out of it's not principle.
It is
or
a
even
principle.
spite.
It's just an incorrect.
I don't even know if you can call that a principle. That's just a principle. It feels like there has to be an almost conscionable basis for it.
Yeah.
Whereas this is just kind of, wow, let's go with it.
Yeah, because he's also part of this outdated mindset called the cult of offense, which is the belief that it's better for morale to be the attacker, not the defender, and that sustained aggressive attacks are the way to keep discipline and morale high and achieve victory.
That sounds like the most reasonable thing you said so far, in terms of, I guess, going on the aggressive push. You might feel like you're making progress.
This is an outdated mindset by World War One. Because an entrenched machine gun emplacement can now mow down hundreds of men, so there's no morale.
Well, I guess
to that. It's like, yeah, it's better to be on the attack when you're like besieging a medieval city.
Yeah.
Not when you're charging entrenched gun emplacements.
Yeah, when it's, you know, they've got more men than us, but if we push, we can keep on going.
Yeah.
But if it's just a mechanism that puts metal into you, that's going to kill 100 of you in a few seconds. Yeah, well, it speaks to it when you said he's just going to have your men run a gun emplacement.
Yeah, and anyone who comes up with another plan gets punished lethally. So it's like run into the machine guns or...
At that point, I guess you've broke the morale, because if I were one of these guys, and I reckon even if I was some sort of diehard nationalist and I was in that situation...
I would frag this guy. Like, you know, in Vietnam, where they like kill... But also an important thing to note for this, he spends the entire campaign pretty much not at the front.
Of course not, because he'd be dead.
He's doing it all on he's also doing it all on top-down 2D maps. He never walked the battlefields or had any understanding of the terrain other than a top-down view.
This dickhead's dialing in on a Teams call.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't want to get fragged.
This is the worst. This might be the worst manager in history.
He's micromanaging, but he's also not there.
Yeah.
Because he knows for a fact. I don't care whatever he doesn't believe any of this works. He knows he'll be killed on sight.
I think because he wrote books about this before the war. Like he never takes accountability. Spoilers, he will never admit failure.
Who hired this idiot?
King Emmanuel III of Italy.
Right, he might be a bigger idiot.
Yeah, we did the section on him.
I know this guy.
He wasn't a huge idiot. He was just like a guy who shouldn't have ever been a king. He was seemed like a nice guy who got the wrong job from birth.
Yeah, and then he hired this guy who is just wrong from birth by the sounds of it. He's writing bad books from go.
Yeah, because here's a quote from him. The offense is profitable and almost always possible, even against mountainous positions that appear to be impregnable.
That's not true.
Nope.
That's a lie.
So this is the guy in charge of the Italian forces. I know we spent a lot of time on this guy, but I could not understand this battle until I looked into this guy.
This guy is the worst.
So the first battle was June 23rd to July 7th, 1915. He opens up with an intensive artillery barrage, followed by charging of massed infantry uphill through barbed wire towards machine gun emplacements carved into rock that hadn't been knocked out by the artillery. He also... So after 2 weeks, the Italians lose 15,000 men for no real gain.
Swell.
So what does Luigi Cardarana do?
Kill his own men?
Well, since adjustments or learning from your mistakes is a sign of weakness, he blamed the failure on the quality of his troops and their commanders before planning battle number 2, which would take place 11 days later. He would send his troops against the same positions with the same tactics, so the Austrians were more ready. This time he loses 41,800 men in this 2-week-long battle, achieving nothing. This battle only ends when both sides run out of ammunition. Furious, Cardarana continues not learning while he prepares his grand offensive, which he launches on the 8th of October 1915.
Sorry. Is it the same thing with more men?
Which lasts until November 3rd, resulting in 67,000 casualties and no real progress.
Right, okay. Did he do the same thing again?
Furious, Calderona curses out his troops, giving them no rest, and launches another attack, except now a week later, except now it's early winter. His troops aren't equipped with winter gear, and fresh Austrian divisions have arrived. He loses 49,000 to death or injury for minor gains, capturing part of the outer suburbs of a city called Gorizia. So,
I fucking hate that they made even the slightest bit of progress with this tactic.
It's just...
That is the situation where if you're defending, if you're the Austrians in this situation, and they come for a fourth time in the exact same way, at that point you're like, no, this is a trick.
Well, he eventually calls a halt to that attack, ending 1915 with a total of 170,000 casualties for minimum territorial gain. He repeats this process over the next 2 years, managing to perpetrate 3 to 15 miles into Austro-Hungarian territory at the cost of 1 million casualties.
Sorry, maximum of 15 miles and 1 million casualties.
Yes. Also, to put that, this is 11 assaults he's put. The French on the west, the French and British on the Western Front. I can't remember the exact number, but in this time they did 4 to 5 major offensives with significantly more men.
Is this the biggest military failure ever? Like this, the numbers.
This is such a bad military failure that it paves the way for fascism. But we'll get to that.
Well, you said 3 to 15 miles.
Yes.
So there's a chance it was fucking 3 miles.
Oh, no, it's like various points of the border.
Oh, right, sorry.
So, like, the deepest they got is 15. Sort of average is...
Oh, like, okay. I thought you meant, like, it was such a, like, grey area, like a sort of messy situation, that he might have only got 3 miles. But also, I'm sorry, 15 miles...
Also nothing.
No, I've walked that in a day. When we went on our trip not too long ago, we walked 10 miles.
Yeah.
And...
we were out of shape and had, like, bags full of stuff and, like, booze and stuff.
Yeah, and that was... like over like 5 hours.
Yeah.
And it was in like 30-degree heat.
I mean, I got some blisters, but 1 million people weren't injured or killed.
And doing that over the course of 2 years.
Yeah.
2 years. Like, I'm thinking about that journey that we made and the idea of covering that distance in 2 years and 1 million people died to take that area.
It's nothing.
I'll be honest, I'm no tactician. Despite the fact I've been playing this game for 2 years, I don't think this works out.
Well, the thing is, every single time, there's some more greater successes and some less, but the most is like a minor success. Every time he blames his troops. He thinks his tactics are perfect and his men just aren't executing them. So he's incapable of learning.
Well, that seems to be his issue.
Yeah. But this does, I mean, there's been 11 battles over 2 years. So the Austro-Hungarians also aren't in a great place. So they asked Germany to send over some guys. And this leads up to the 12th and final battle of the Isonzo River. The Germans send over some chemists, some mountain warfare specialists, 7 elite frontline divisions, one of which was the Alpenkorps, an elite mountain warfare unit, which included the Württemberg Mountain Battalion, which was home to a young and up-and-coming company commander by the name of Erwin Rommel.
I know the name.
Yeah. Those chemists they sent over, by the way, and the mountain specialists. The mountain warfare specialists literally walked the whole thing and then came back and gave to make the plans. Like, rather than him being miles away, these guys were like, we need to walk. We need to understand this area. And the chemists are preparing gas attacks.
Oh, God.
So an incompetent relic who existed in a military reality completely divorced from modern warfare, who relied on micromanagement, rigid, inflexible doctrine, was about to come into contact with a proto-blitzkrieg.
Oh, God.
Instead of large massed attacks against suspecting enemies, the German troops relied on stealth, speed, and surprise, using terrain and weather to bypass enemy strong points and exploit gaps in the defenses. And there are gaps everywhere because he's part of this cult of offense. So despite the fact he makes his men work when they're not doing anything, they're not working on defenses because he thinks that's a sign of weakness.
Because the guy's an idiot.
Yeah, like a Roman army would like arrive somewhere and they'd like dig a fort. Like you can still see them up through Scotland and England where it's like a Roman army camped for like a week. And they built the like big but no, it's like it's this Roman idea without looking at any of the like what made Rome so dangerous was every soldier was also like an engineer.
Yes, like, everyone was capable of a different skill set. You're just throwing
the
guys.
Army could build a road behind it. Every night they camped in a fort. He's just not doing any of this. It's just all like gold eagles and banners and shit.
Yeah, just run our men into machine gun fire.
Yeah. The Germans also implemented a system called, and I'm going to fuck this up, Afraristogalst. I'm going to give up halfway through that word, German. Basically, it's mission control, which is a concept that's still used by modern militaries. NATO uses it, which is the idea and the recognition that top-down plans do not work in dynamic battlefields. So instead, each officer and soldier should be given an understanding of the strategic goal and then as much freedom as possible to achieve it themselves.
Which is my understanding of warfare fundamentally.
Yes, that is how successful armies fight.
Yeah, that's just how I picture a combat situation unfolding in warfare.
Yeah. So these new dynamic, technologically advanced Germans show up. The last battle of the Isonzo River, or the Battle of Caporetto, took place between the 24th of October and the 19th of November 1917. So this is about 3 weeks. In that time, the Germans advanced 60 miles, driving the Italian army entirely out of northeast Italy, completely, and then getting within miles of Venice. They caused 300,000 casualties, of which 250,000 of them are surrendered German troops. Because, like, there's this battle at this bridge, and, like, Rommel and his guys show up, and the Germans and there's, like, 10 of them, and, like, almost 1,000 Italians just surrender. Because their morale is so bad.
Of course it is.
They're, like, literally waiting in, like, shallow ditches because they can't build trenches. Just waiting for someone to capture them. While this is happening, Luigi continues to not take accountability. This is a direct quote from him. The collapse is entirely due to the moral cowardice and treason of certain units who shamefully surrendered to the enemy without fighting. This, thankfully, is the final straw, and Luigi gets the sack on November 7th, 1917, but by then the damage is done. His failure shapes Italy's post-war, which leads to the concept of a mutilated victory and paves the way for fascism. He will never command troops ever again, but Benito Mussolini will make him the Grand Marshal of Italy in an attempt to make him a national hero.
No! No!
And that's the... That's the Battle of the Isonzo River. And I've now got this point to what I'd rather fight in the Alps or any other front I've ever heard of than in a
under this man.
Flat grass field with this guy.
I agree. I actually
now think the most dangerous terrain is a moron in charge.
I did not know what you were going to describe coming into this. I did not think you would be able to paint another environment or landscape that would be worse. Absolutely, this is worse. Because the issue is, with the mountain, you have a chance at surviving.
Yeah.
You know, it's horrible. It's such an aggressive terrain to be moving through. It's so volatile in its environmental risk, the fire that you're under, the weather. But you might survive that. The issue is with him, you're up against a gun and it's going to kill you, but if you avoid the gun, he'll kill you.
Or even if you follow orders and someone in your troop doesn't, and you pull the short straw in a decimation.
Yeah.
You just get beaten to death by your...
So there is no winning.
Yeah, this is... I had no concept of the Italian front at all, but this guy... Like, the reason his name is now synonymous in Argentinian slang with being worthless, useless, or very poor is because the vitriol... A lot of Italians emigrated to Argentina between World War I and World War II, and they hated this guy so much his name is now... And I don't know... This is just from my research. I think this is just Argentinian slang now. Like, it's just... His name is synonymous with failure. And it's good. It should be synonymous with failure in more places.
And Mussolini wanted to make him a national hero.
Yeah, he died as Field Marshal of Italy in, like, 1928. Like, it's another guy a bit like Graziani who, like, dies without any comeuppance.
I don't know. I think his comeuppance is... I hope at the very least talking about it now... Maybe this is a little bit of comeuppance.
But the entire,
just a tad.
Yeah, the entire time he never ever takes accountability. He thinks he would have won if his, like, the working class
if it weren't
had,
for those,
like, more courage.
If it weren't for those,
like,
dastardly
crazy.
working class. What a piece of shit.
Yeah. But this is why Italy doesn't get what it wants out of World War One.
Well, no, because also he made this. He paved the way for fascism, like you said.
Because after this battle, the French and English are like, this is so fucked. We have to send 13 elite divisions to stabilize the situation. Not to, like, push up that front. It's just like, that front, we just need to stabilize.
Yeah, this is a worse situation than the Alps.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, just that entire thing for the Germans was 20,000 casualties.
Against 1 million.
Against 300,000, the million were over that one battle where...
Oh, right, okay. So less than 10%.
Yeah. And Rommel was an infantryman at the time, but he wrote a book based on this that would get him the job afterwards and also lay out... Apparently, it's actually a very fundamental book of, like, shock infantry tactics, laying the groundworks for blitzkrieg. So you've got, like, a Roman-style general who would have been bad in Roman times against proto-blitzkrieg.
Yeah, and Rommel, who's, still now considered one of the better tacticians of warfare in general.
And
overall.
He's just a company commander at this point.
Yes,
but he does distinguish himself. I think he will do a Rommel series, but he earns the highest, like, their Medal of Honor, the German version.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a fucking crazy story. That is wild.
Yeah,
that's insane. That is far worse than I thought it could get.
And as I was researching it didn't make any sense.
No, none of it does.
Until I looked into him. Because I did, like, I was going to be the Battle of the Insonzo, but then I was like, why are they making these decisions? And I deep dived on him.
You've told me about him. It doesn't make sense.
No.
Because you need to go a layer deeper, and even then I don't know that it would make sense.
No.
None of what he's doing, none of what he is, anything about this, none of it makes sense.
He might be one of the least effective military commanders ever, I don't know.
He's very effective, but for the other side.
Yeah.
He killed so many Italians. Well, as a guy who's, getting Italians killed in the board game, that for me, I feel much more confident in playing next time.
Turns out you can't be worse than a real Italian general.
You know what? I don't actually think I can, based on the amount of men I have available during the board game. I don't think I can logistically be worse than him. But unless I start actually setting fire to parts of the game, I don't think I can be worse.
But it's also like Graziani... Bagiglio, like, there's so many incompetent Italian generals.
There's a difference between incompetence and just being aggressively negative and destroying your own accomplishments and possibilities.
I guess, but they all fall into that bracket.
Incompetence, I guess, if you look at it very broadly and liberally.
If you're going to one-word it, but to understand how incompetent you need.
I've got another word, but I'm not going to continue to swear too much on the podcast. But wow. Well, for his sake, because of the fact that that's such a negative vibe, and because, Andy, we've got one more shot at this. We've got one more go before our war is over, and then we start the real war. The only way we can brace ourselves one last time is to dip into some common ground. And now for something nicer. A little oasis in the war. It's time for some common ground. I'm trying the intro for common ground. I'm recording it. Maybe. Yeah. So, common ground.
Apricots or papaya?
The fruit zone.
It's fruit zone. I'm going to go apricots, just because I don't really know anything about papaya.
Same.
The fruit zone.
So fruit zone is done. Common ground.
That was a real shock and awe tactic. That feels like an illegal move, but okay. Common ground. I'm coming into this now knowing you're dealing in bad faith, by the way. What a bad position for common ground.
I hope this will be one that we can agree on pretty easily.
Okay, let's hear it.
To run for public office, or if you want your net worth to tick over to $1 billion, either way, you have to do 2 years of customer service or high street retail and live off it, and then you can continue with that.
Okay, so there's I have two minds about this, because I understand what you're presenting here. It's to put these people through hardship, so they have to understand the nitty-gritty of what happens at the bottom level of all of this, the whole pyramid.
Yeah, and there's none of this stop buying avocado toast and coffee, where it's like no one's doing that. That was a thing 20 years ago.
So I guess for the first part, so when they're doing this, Are they living off the budget of one of these workers?
That's part of it as well, yeah.
Yeah, so they have to live with accommodation they can afford from this salary.
Yep.
They have to live this way, and then afterwards they get to
then
put themselves forward. Yeah. So are they already figures who, say in the UK they're Eton educated?
If they're running for office, yes.
Yeah, they've eaten Oxbridge
and went to Oxbridge, yeah.
Yeah, and then they
did what's the one they all do? Like poli-sci economics. There's like
something,
a specific one.
I know the one you mean, yeah. So they've done all of this. They've already put their name out. They're like, I'm going to run for office. I'm going to put my name forward. And then at that point it triggers, well, now you need to do this.
I think to do the forms you have to, to put your name on for it, you have to prove you've done that.
In order for them to prove it, is there a way for us to make sure they aren't getting like stipends or any sort of like additional benefits or payments from mummy and daddy or anyone else? I think
they have to prove they live. They have to show they can set up a bank account specifically, whereas the money you earn will go into that, and all your expenses come out of that. And if we find out you've been using any of your other accounts, you're disqualified.
Okay. That makes it a bit more comfortable of a process.
And I would expand that. I think I said high street retail or customer service because that is underpaid dealing with the public.
Yes.
But I'd say nurses would automatically qualify, those kind of teachers would also count, if you're doing a job that's currently underpaid but beneficial.
The issue is at that point
it's too expanded.
Well, they're also in charge of people's future.
Yes, actually,
working in retail, it's they're
excellent point.
They're doing a sort of a low skill job where you're servicing someone who wants to buy something. And you're sort of the checkpoint for that.
Healthcare or education.
Yeah, because you're shaping someone's future if you're a teacher. And if they're just doing it and going through the motions so they can get a position, feels
I think with those
dicey.
two, you need qualifications.
You do, but these people, that means they'll
then
have
just
to get
do
qualified.
that instead of the poly, econ, socio.
Then it means we have someone who's even less qualified to become a politician because they don't have any prior knowledge or qualification about the environment they're going to step into. They've just done this to be a teacher, to half-arse it for 2 years, to then come out the other end.
Let's go back. But the core idea is you should have to deal with the public at their worst for almost no money. And then I hope it would incentivize, let's increase the minimum wage.
Yes.
I understand the reality of what living day to day is like on the average, like, median salary.
Yes, and I like this at its core for what it is. And I think what I want to do with it is grab both sides of it and sort of stretch them out to either end, where they want to look at this and they want to go, right, actually, we need to actually give more money to people in these positions. They need to be paid a fairer wage. These are people who are underpaid for the stress they go through day to day, and they are a fundamental part of society. This is not fair for... It's unskilled work, but this isn't really balanced.
It's also why I said high street retail, so they're not working at, like, Harrods.
Yes.
Like, it has to be day to day. You can't be like, I did my retail thing, and it was like...
Yeah, you're not working for the white company, you're working for Asda.
Even white company, it's like, if it's multiple, like, high... It's just, it can't be, like, a high-end boutique where you're getting paid, like, really well.
So I want to pull that end out and make sure that they're in dire straits financially so they can see that and address it.
I don't want them to be in dire straits financially, but if that role means they're in dire straits financially, I need them to understand it.
Well, I guess
ideally,
that's it.
people doing that job wouldn't be.
Well, that's why we put them into areas of the country where they would be in dire straits, so they can look at it.
Also, you're not in London.
Yeah, so you put them in these situations where they will be in dire straits.
Yeah, so you have to work at Next in Sunderland for 2 years.
Yes, and I'm pulling it on the other side because you mentioned the dealing with the public at their worst. Now, this is where I'm going to try and get another policy change in, which is that people working in these roles have power against the public a bit more. Because I've worked briefly in retail when I was like 16, 17, and that's not all right. It's not all right what happens. Dealing with the public, since then I've dealt with public and consumers and customers, clients from mostly remote roles where I'm not dealing with them face to face.
Like call center would count, but for something where it's like adversarial.
Yes, but I think with this, we need to give these employees power to just shut it down. Because the issue now is a lot of the reason that it's such a horrible environment to work in is because you get... And not everyone is an awful person when they come in to buy something and it goes wrong. A lot of people will go in, they'll try and make a purchase, it won't go quite the way they wanted because something's out of stock or it's a different price or there's any number of complications. A lot of people will turn around and go, oh, okay, there's been a misunderstanding or this is just not what I hoped for, I'll just leave it there or we'll remedy this in an amicable way. But then you unfortunately get the bad bunch.
The Karens.
The Karens.
Yeah.
Where now it becomes a case of, well, no, this is your fault. You personally, you retail representative that I'm speaking to who is operating a checkout at a supermarket.
You have personally set the global company policy. You are Asda personified. And I'm going to take all my frustration out on you.
Yes.
Like,
and you get some people where they'll drop in the... I'm not angry at you. I'm just... And then, first of all, that's still not as okay as you think it is. Because you're prefacing it with, this isn't at you, but I'm going to shout at you, yell at you. I'm putting a psychological burden on you still.
I've been lucky enough I've not had those roles. So also, I shouldn't run for office. So this is
you can't.
Almost,
you legally can't.
This is a proves the rule like situation. But it's... Yeah, just the unreasonableness and like having to handle it.
Yeah, so it's when they come forward and they say this isn't at you, but they still put a psychological burden of you're getting shouted at, you're getting stuff dumped on you when you're just there to, take their payment for an item.
I know this isn't your fault. The equivalent of no offense, but it's like softening, but it means anything that comes after is just what they want to say.
I think maybe it's slightly better because it means they've got at least enough cognitive processing to realize that what they're doing is wrong to be directed at you. But then they
if
still
they
do
then
it.
shout,
Yeah, maybe
like,
it's not that much better.
It's like the people who are like self-aware, like, oh, I'm terrible drunk, or oh, I get like angry, and it's like, fucking deal with it then. Like, don't just be like, oh, Riley's self-aware. Handle the problem.
Yeah, don't give me a disclaimer and then do it. Don't do it at all. So there's that, and then you've got the people who are worse, where there's no disclaimer, and they do actually direct it at you. They think it's you, and they'll channel. They become personal. They insult you, and it becomes a very personal attack because of the purchase they wanted of a lawnmower. Or when I worked in retail, this is one. There was somebody who bought a hedge trimmer, and they wanted to return. I worked like a DIY kind of store, and they got a hedge trimmer, and they tried to return it 2 days after they bought it. And we took it out the box, and the power cable had been severed.
Oh, yeah.
And they were like, well, yeah, when I was cutting my hedge, I cut through the cable. And it's like, right, okay, you've destroyed a product that you bought at home, and you would like your money back for the product you destroyed.
I bought this TV and threw it off a bridge, and now it isn't working. Give me a TV.
Yeah, it's like, well, no, you've lost the thing. You bought something, you've destroyed it. You could have set it on fire. You could have thrown it in the ocean. It's been destroyed by your doing. It was an accident. Fair enough. I'm sorry that happened. But my apologies will not translate to cash value.
Yeah.
That's it. Your inconvenience is not a transaction here. So when these people come at you, I think we need to empower these people who work in these positions to be able to let loose. And if they are getting it given to them, they should be able to retort. And it's not entirely conducive to a good situation.
No.
If it's escalating and swearing and stuff. But if this is an establishment, if this is a business, and you've got security on the doors, and then the customer continues to flare up and they try and make it physical, then they're removed. But you're allowed to verbally push back as much as you see fit.
I think these have to be separate, because if you can verbally push back, it removes the impact for these guys.
Well, it removes part of it, but they still don't get paid a fair wage. They get to release maybe emotionally.
No, but I think that's part of it. It's like, it should be... Essentially, you should have the experience of, like, this average... Like, a single mum of 3 who, like, hasn't slept can't unload on a customer. She'll get fired.
Yes.
So...
But you should be able to if the customer is giving it to them.
Oh, yes.
So
yeah.
Everyone gets...
So we've got 2 here.
Yes, so this is a two-pronged approach where we're looking at alleviating the burden, I guess, for the working class, where they're going to get paid better and they aren't going to be abused by the public without being able to push back.
It's essentially pushing empathy down the throats of people who want power.
Yes, whether it's the customer or the politician, if you're abusing your position, whether you're disregarding people's position of vulnerability or you're trying to capitalize on people's vulnerability, you will have pushback. You will be detrimented. And because of that, you're going to end up on the back foot, buddy.
Yeah.
I think that's what we do.
And it also means, like, oh, you couldn't get through working at Primark for 2 years and now you want to be the Home Secretary.
Are you saying that Primark is more stressful?
Yeah.
In which case, someone needs to fix that, and you clearly aren't the person to do it.
Yeah. And because also I think a lot of them just won't handle it. They'll just be like, I'm going to give up on politics. I'm going to go and work for my dad's finance firm or whatever.
And that's it.
And that's a nice filter as well.
Yeah, dilute the finance firms into people who've been emotionally hamstrung by the emotional weight of retail.
Because I don't have the exact figures, but the amount of prime ministers and cabinet members throughout British history who have gone to Eton and Oxbridge is insane.
It's
like the amount that it like outweighs.
It's a vast
people
majority.
Who didn't go there.
Yeah,
which is like
it's crazy.
Yeah. So it's like you can still do the Oxbridge course, but once you finish and you've got your masters from Oxbridge, you now need to go and work in Tesco, Primark, the Garden Centre.
Well, as always, Andy, we've put politics to rights. which is, for a podcast where we've always said that we're not going to get political, I think we've always stayed fairly apolitical in the general vibe, but we do put politics right.
Oh, yeah.
People, in general, they should just be better.
Yeah.
This isn't about left, right, centre, up or down. This is about just stop being a dick.
It might be about up and down.
I guess, yeah, up and down is probably where we sit. We don't sit left or right, we sit up and down. So that's where we leave that. That's a strong common ground. And that's where we leave the penultimate.
Yeah.
That's where we leave everything until next time, the last time. Because that's what it is next time. Next time you tune in, you're hearing it for the end. That's the practice run over.
Don't even believe it myself.
I have to. So, for the penultimate time, from me, James.
Me, Andy, stay subtle, humble, and brave.
And next time we'll give you one last Deserts of Your Mind. Good night.